They say that knowledge is power, but we say only if you know where to get it. We are the Council, and welcome to the Gossup, where we bring the whispers, the facts, and the stories that matter. Stay locked in. Welcome, everybody, to the Gossup.
Yes, welcome.
We are so happy to have you guys this evening. Ladies, how are you doing? What's been going on? Tell us some tea, some good news, some drama.
Drama?
Yeah, we want to hear it all.
Who has drama in their life these days?
No one.
My week has been good. You know, y'all heard me talking about last week how stressed out I was.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of stress this week, but that's really because I'm going into a big event. I'm a perfectionist. Then, you know, we had some crazy stuff with our bank accounts because of
drama,
the state.
Drama.
Doing tax levies, but I'm excited that they released all the levies on all the accounts. And so, like, that took away a lot of stress and strains, especially when you're down to the wire.
Cheers to that.
Needing to do some business. Right. So I'm doing good. Yay. I don't have any major complaints besides really waiting to get a quick getaway in. We'll see if that happens this weekend, maybe, but I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. This week, I don't know. I have a lot going on, actually. But
do tell.
It's been a good week, though. I would say it's been a good week. Just working, track practice, that's actually been going.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually been going good. I got some good athletes out there. So I'm excited about the track season. So I'm excited.
Shout out to
that's right, Anthony Middle School track team.
Woo! How about you, Sherry?
Well, you know, I feel really, really good. It's been a stressful week as well. Just so busy. You know what? When life gets busy, it's just like one thing after another. And so, yeah, that's just, part of life and just trying to maneuver and stay on top.
So, how was Mother's Day?
Mother's Day was good. I gotta, admit that, I had a really good time hanging out with the fam. I even hung out with my mother-in-law and my sisters-in-law in love, and had a really good time. Yep.
Awesome.
So no complaints there. Hey, Latrice, what's going on? I want to send love out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Woo-hoo. That's right. Frankie. Yep. Kenya and the kids. What up? Yep. So I had a really good time. Yep. Oh, and then, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I had a really good time. I really enjoyed myself.
Life should be balanced. We're all working hard on that.
We
on
need a
being
vacation.
Balanced and being able to enjoy the roses, all the flowers.
Yes.
And any rain that comes.
Speaking
Learn to dance.
of rain. We normally start off with relationship news.
Yeah.
But it's just been raining so much with the celebrities. I just had to. I was struggling not to just mention some of the stuff that you guys probably already know what's going on, but you haven't heard our take on how we feel about it. But one of the things that I would like to discuss is the young singer Holly. I believe her last name is Bailey, I believe.
Oh, Holly.
Her and her sister started off, singing on YouTube. and some other platforms probably. I don't really know the true history of their how they became stars.
Yeah.
And so I know that they are on Jay-Z's label. And but yeah, she reports is out saying that she had a baby, and she's going through the baby mama drama with the dad. Always something, and to the point where I think the baby's only maybe one, and she taking him to court to get full custody, and he's been some kind of abusive boyfriend, and so it's just really, really sad. So I just hope that you guys can work that out. I didn't really want to say too much on it, so that's why I didn't do a lot of research about it, because I was too busy doing research on Diddy.
And would that be?
Now, when it rains, it pours. So we talking about some rain.
Rain.
Oh my
rain and
goodness.
oil.
Ooh. Now, ladies, counsel.
What's up?
Now, give a little thought about the Diddy court trial process. First and foremost, do you guys want me to just do a little highlight and then you do some comments, or hey, we can just do it however
it's been so
you guys
busy.
wanna do
I
it.
haven't been able to watch anything relating it at all, but I'm very, very interested, and I have captured little snippets here and there, but it's like a 30-second. So yes, give us the tea.
Yeah. Well, since this is the Gossup, we're not gonna spend too much time gossiping down.
And this is going to be a while. This case is going on for
It's
a while.
going on for a minute. So I just want to give a little highlights about
the
this.
P.
About the Diddy trial. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Everybody's talking about it. So why
Let's
not?
talk about it. Yeah.
So it's oh my goodness. So the trial started, I believe this is 3 days in to the trial. And talks of how Cassie first and foremost, they started off, I thought maybe they would have Cassie go on last, but they started off with her and some of the escorts, and they're doing a little background. Of course, they start off with, kind of explaining about the reason why they're in court. And so, first and foremost, I just want you guys to look and see how they say Diddy looks now.
That's what I was saying. I
heard
haven't
about
seen
that.
little pictures. Well, that's because he hasn't been able to get his natural dye in.
Yeah,
But also the level of stress. Stress can do that.
It makes you look old.
Yeah.
Some people say, well, he is in his 50s.
But, he also has all these resources at his disposal to keep him looking fresh and young. You never know what he's into. He might be drinking a little blood or something. Never know. Allegedly. But what I'm saying is that, he doesn't have the resources in prison, which, please, they do. They have resources.
Okay.
He'll get it in there some
yeah.
way.
Okay.
But this is a good way for him to show that a level of stress for his fans and all of that. To show him the human side of him, that he's aging, he's stressed,
Right.
he's all these different things.
He said he goes from looking 40 to 70. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I think that it's a tactic.
It's a tactic.
Mhm.
It's a tactic.
He
Of
wants
course.
people to feel very sorry for him, like he's older and kind of frail. And
he's not frail.
he's not frail.
Sounds
And
like he
shout
had
out
all
to the
the
50
strength.
pluses, because anybody that's 50 plus, they are not frail and looking, like they're on their last leg. I'm not saying anything about him looking last leg-ish, but it just really he's great and he's looking a little bit different.
Yes,
so,
indeed, a little bit.
So a little
See,
bit.
I thought those was fake images. I haven't been able to follow deeply, but I would see little grays showing up here and there. on people's timelines and stuff. So this is interesting.
Yeah. So a little bit of history on a little overview about Diddy and Cassie, because first and foremost, I wanted to say I didn't think that they would just start with Cassie. You know, that was something that I was kind of surprised about. But anyway, so Diddy met Cassie when Cassie was with a gentleman named Ryan Leslie with an agency. I think she was modeling when they met. However, and I think she was dating Ryan Leslie allegedly, and I'm not for sure because I didn't really scrub the internet to get that information. But however, they met, and Diddy seen her, he liked her, and he signed her to a 10-year contract with Bad Boy.
Oh, wow.
Now, when they met, I believe she was probably 18 or so. I'm not for sure. But I know that when they started seeing each other, she was 19 and he was 37. Mm-hmm. So I want y'all to get y'all paddles
18
out.
Years.
And
difference.
Let me know if it's a sugar crush or was it a love bomb bust when Diddy started dating Cassie.
I mean, he was sugar crushing, she was sugar crushing. They both was crushing to me in the beginning.
That was
I mean, he knew what he was going to do all along. He had a crush. He done locked it down for 10 years.
I don't know.
He was crushing hard, and he wanted to lock her fully in for 10 years. Put his digs into her. Right. I mean, it's a bust all day because she was getting busted, but it's still.
Charlisa said it was a sugar crush, and Tam.
I'm gonna say a love bomb bust because
let me hear it.
His old ass messing with this little young girl, so he wanted to mold her into what he want her to be. You know what I'm saying? So he already had in his mind, I want to make you be Barbie. So here I am. I'm gonna give you some blonde hair. I'm gonna give you a Mercedes Benz. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be your kin. You all right? But when I say jump, I want you to say hi when I say jump. Okay? And if you don't jump, high as I want you to jump when I say jump, then I'm gonna slap the sheeps out of it. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So he wanted to be master too. He's like, I'm gonna be your master. I'm gonna be all of that. I was like that love bomb buster because he was just taking her and molding her to what he wanted to be, and he was gonna use that. You know, them dollars.
For him, he was a love bomb. For her, it was a sugar crush.
Yeah, you know, he was using them dollars to, get what he wanted.
So, in the trial, I definitely believe that it was a love bomb because Diddy was already with his the twins' mom during that time that he, started up with Cassie. Allegedly. So it definitely, he was love bombing.
Well, he was with a bunch of people.
He was exactly.
Just, always, but they didn't care.
Any crushing because you have to be able to really say true love in a relationship that that's my crush, that's my boo thing, that's my sweetheart. All of the nicknames that people give one another, that they endearing names that they really care for. So he met her when he was 37. Is it good for a 37-year-old, whether it's male, female, whatever, to connect and hook up with somebody that is a couple of decades their junior?
I'll tell you next week after I have this date with this 20-year-old.
Whoa! Do tell! Do tell!
I'll tell you if it works or not.
You have a date with your son.
Right. Dating somebody's son. The thing is I don't feel like anyone that's that age has anything really in common with a 20-year-old. They just don't. because you should have outgrown that period of your lifetime. However, at the same time,
love bomb. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, when I was younger, you know, I was on my own at 15, had my
fast.
I was on my own, had my first apartment at 15, brought my first house. Yes, I brought my first house when I was 19. Like, there's all these things. So I was a very mature young woman.
Progressive.
Yes. And doing it, had my first business, all that stuff very young. So guys probably my age, I would have not been into because they wouldn't have been on the level that I was. I was very serious. I was doing some stuff. And so someone who would have been on my level or thought like me would have been older than me. So I know, but typically if it's a man at that age looking at a young woman, I feel like, you know, he is very immature and there's something else that he really wants from her. It's, you know, because, you know, you really want somebody that's on your level that you can be equal with, that y'all can swap ideas with and things like that. But you got this little, you know, you're going through a midlife crisis. So you want this young thing to make you feel more better about yourself because you're insecure. So it really speaks to where that person is in their life. I don't think it's a balance. I don't think it's a good fit. Yeah, I can't see it.
Cause she's still, you know what I'm saying, still chewing hubba bubba. And you know what I'm saying? And you got, you know what I'm saying, some double mint of juicy fruit at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she's still chewing hubba bubba.
I mean, ask Kevin Samuels. Oh, he's gone. Because he was bringing on these little young girls, you know.
He was
spending himself, just running himself ragged because he was teaching on just being with these young girls. And now look at him. You know, these young girls took you out early because a woman at your level would have been able to help preserve you. She would have been able to speak into you like, dude, you need to do this. Let's go to the doctor or whatever his issues was. But, you know, it would have been more a better compliment to his health and to his life. Hey. So, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, so the council have spoken. We know that he was love bombing her. He was a love bomb buster. And on top of that, she said in trial that when he first kissed her, she was shocked. Like, she even cried because she was just thinking, you know, she was starry-eyed from who he was. And then for him to, you know, I guess desire her in that way.
Choose her.
She was really very shocked, and she was dating at that time, and she did not really want to break that relationship. But because she was so highly impressed, you know, and impressionable, because when you're young like that and you want success, and he says that I'm going to give you not only 1 or 2 or 3 years contract, I'm gonna, you know, give you a 10-year contract. That, it was huge. And by the way, she never did any other album but one. The 10 years, she was still waiting, doing studio work, songs that never was released. So yeah.
Did she ever have anything that people have heard?
She had this one song, I think it's called Me and You. It was the only popular song that she
never heard.
Came out with.
I didn't know she sung or anything.
Yeah. You know, she was a better I'm just gonna be honest, she was a better model. As an artist, you know, myself, I have to be honest when it comes to, if she was in a talent search, she wouldn't have been vocally, you know, the person that I would have chosen to.
A lot of people have no vocal skills these days. They have the looks but no vocal skills. They don't need it.
And all the technology does the work.
Mm-hmm. And that is what he was attracted to, was her look.
Young, fresh,
impressionable.
And impressionable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they dated, and we gonna wrap this up because we don't want to spend too much time on the low end of things. But she was very, happy. They started dating. She really began to fall in love with him. He showered her for the first 6 months with money and trips and, really impressing her, being around execs and different people. She really began to enjoy that lifestyle. But after 6 months of the relationship, he asked her to be a part of a threesome. Yes. And it went from that in...
Went from a threesome to a foursome.
Oh my goodness.
Eightsome.
Right. It was just the stories. I don't even want the filth to even touch the mic around this council circle, because it was disgusting, the things that he had her do, the things that she was willing to do, and not only her but other people who participated in the what they call freak offs. It was unbelievable. So I just want to say shame on you, Sean Combs, and shame on everybody else who supported him in that and knew that what he was doing, who took part in it and said nothing, and the people in Hollywood who knew and laid it out for him. So shame on all of y'all. And my prayer is that you repent for all the crap you done did and get it right with God, because at the end of it, that's really what matters. Okay?
You better hurry up too, cause it look like time winding down.
Yeah, because the stuff that he did was devilish. So I just want to say that. I want to bring God in the circle in that part. But we done talking about Diddy, because he really, is irrelevant to what we're doing here. I'm hoping that she get justice, along with all of the other people that he didn't pay them their money, their royalties. He had them doing, and I know that all of this stuff is going to come up during trial, but he had people singing and doing backgrounds, didn't pay them. He didn't pay people for their beats and production and work that they did. I mean, how disgusting can somebody be? And proudly walking around like big draws and so to me it stinks. It ain't right. So here's to the love bomb buster. And now, on the lighter note, let's get down to some
good stuff.
Relationship news.
Good part.
That's right. That's right. My goodness.
That was relationship.
That was the ugly.
Well, that was relationship.
Yeah, that's
but,
right. The ugly.
Yeah. Anyway, so in relationship news, guess who we're celebrating this week? Ruben Studdard.
Oh,
from the American Idol alum, Ruben Studdard. When he won, I was very happy. Wait, did he win? I think he did.
Clay
Aiken won. That is right. He took second. However, you took first, Ruben.
That's right.
You took first. You deserve that. Well, I don't have nothing negative to say about Clay, but I'm just saying, I was voting for Ruben. But Ruben, it has been, they say he's the velvet teddy bear, because of his temperament, and he was always such a gentleman on and off camera. And check it out. Do y'all know how he met his wife, Kristen?
Do not.
Well, he slid into them hot DMs. So Ruben saw Kristen on Facebook, and she said that he slid into her DMs and asked her out. And they went out, and hey,
Hit it out.
6 years later, they're married with 2 children.
Aww.
Yeah, she works in real estate. He's still doing music. In 2023, he released a song, and it was called, I think, Wife, but it was spelled a little bit different. Yeah, and it was inspired by his wife, and he talks about how she moves and all of this other stuff. So I just really want to say hats off to Ruben and Kristen Stutter. Oh, and they have 2 children. They have a baby girl and a baby boy. Well, they just had a baby girl, and they had a boy first. So yeah.
Aww.
So yeah, hats off to Ruben and Kristen. Y'all got any feedback about that?
I don't. I think it's great. It's beautiful. I actually didn't realize Ruben was married.
6 years.
So yeah, that is really, really great. He, I still feel like he hasn't gotten his just due in the music industry.
I agree.
He didn't go as far as he probably should have, and I don't really understand why that is. I don't understand why that is, because he has such a beautiful, strong voice. He still does a lot of cover music, which I feel like he shouldn't be having to do either. I just recently, last year, was it last year? Year before last, excuse me. I had an opportunity to manage the stage at our Taste of Minnesota and met Ruben backstage, because he was on our stage with the time and everyone. So it was really, really great. It was really great. He's a really great, sweet person.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have known. I didn't know that he's married, but I remember watching him perform, and he was really gracious and just really sweet and funny. But also, I kept thinking about, like, when he was out there doing his songs, like, why is he covering other people's songs? Like, it was weird to me, because I feel like he should have been further. So I still question just what happened.
Yeah. I think a lot of times for artists, if you don't have the right yes, and that's like industry. So you have the real talented people who is like the velvet teddy bear, who is not going to take the P Diddy route, and you don't get the notoriety like you should. You know, and so when you don't sell yourself, you end up doing it, organically. And there's nothing wrong with doing anything organically, because you end up in life, after it's all said and done, you respected what you did.
That's right.
Everybody else respect you for what you've done. You're not having a bunch of scandal. You're not in court for a whole bunch of stuff that is people are saying that you did,
stole from them or took from them.
Yeah. So there's a lot of sacrifice that goes along in the industry that we would never know about, and I could care less to know about. But yeah, so I think that's what happened to Ruben.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
It was last year I got a chance to see him. I was at this like spoken word place, and he was like the performer or whatever. It was really good.
Yeah. And he tears some Luther up.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he
All
does.
day. All
Yes,
day.
he does. That's right. So what we would like to say is hats off to Ruben and Kristen Stutter. We really, really, really appreciate Black love.
Black love.
We want y'all to flourish, have more kids. And Ruben, we want to see you on the stage.
That's right.
That's right.
And if y'all looking for a loved one, y'all better start DMing people.
I guess they in my DMs. But
Slip some in their DM box. You might get lucky.
Going down in the DMs.
That's right. They met on Facebook. Hey.
Please.
Everybody else is going on those dating apps. They swiping left and right and up and down and
there you go. They even be in church.
But
I'm like,
are you serious?
Real talk though. One of my buddies was telling me about, she was at church and this lady was I guess probably she was in front of her. She just said she just noticed she kept whatever. So she said she'd look over and the woman on the dating app just go. And then she'd be like, yeah, praise God.
She's like, Jesus, bring me a man in real time.
She out there looking for she's looking for a husband.
Looking for an after church fit.
Oh my goodness. Hey, she was multitasking.
Yeah, she sure was. Well, is it hell or heaven?
If y'all have some stories, we would like to hear them so that we can read them and share it with everybody else, with all the rest of the council. But yeah, that's really pretty interesting. But you know what? I know a lot of people probably doing a lot of other stuff in church that they shouldn't be doing. But we gonna save that for another day. The question of the day. Are y'all ready?
What's the question of the day?
Well, we have a few questions of the day.
Okay.
One question of the day, we are going to listen audibly to it. So this question is, how would you feel if your significant other said before they met you they was tired of the dating preferences that was not coming toward them the way that it should have, and so they hooked up with you, had a chance of meeting you, and you're not the kind of woman or guy that they usually go for, but they gave it a try and it worked. How would you feel if someone said that? How would you feel if someone said that? Well, let's listen to the rest of it before we answer that. Check it out.
Long story short, as I sat there, he gave all of his background singers an opportunity to get a piece of the song. So two of them stuck out to me. One guy name was Chris, and then the other was Kanita. And so afterwards, I'm thinking in my mind initially, if they ever come back to Detroit, I might need them in the studio, work on some records. So I introduced myself to the both of them, and after that I left. And so when I introduced myself to Kanita, I didn't want to be the typical dude off the street, this is your number in church, what I'm saying? So I just made it simple. I said, you know what, if you're on Facebook, I'll connect with you there. If you on social media, I'll leave it there. If it's more, cool. If it's not, cool.
So hold on, but you was open to more.
I was open to more, but it wasn't my initial
original intent.
Yeah, see, I was in that time, even though God showed me her, I was still walking according to my preference. I liked light-skinned, long hair, petite models, all that crazy now. I like what I like. And so the Lord had to show me that that's where I was at. I was just with you. I was tired.
So, obviously, just to give a little bit of background on this was a person, I believe, who's an artist, maybe a gospel artist, and he was at a performance where he saw a group, and I believe he connected with the group in some way, and I may be wrong, so allegedly. And so he's explaining how they got together, how he was impressed by her singing and another gentleman singing, and he approached her and asked her if she would connect with him, and he didn't care whether or not they really connected because she wasn't his type. And so he began to explain the type of woman that he normally go for. So what y'all think about that?
I think those are things that he could have spoke loudly within his head. I would not have, you can think about that. I think about a guy I recently dated, was not my type at all. And I decided in my head that I'm going to give this guy a try or a chance. He was totally, on so many levels, not the type of man I would normally be with. But I wouldn't tell him that. I was going to decide to fill it out. And if it became something, which I actually really liked him, I gave it a try, and he was really great in so many ways. And it opened my mind up to like, oh my God, I possibly could have been missing out because I'm into A, B, C, D only. And now it opened me up to some other things, but I would not dare tell him that. Like, I feel like it would always have him second guessing himself. Is he good enough? Would I really be a choice for this person if they wasn't just giving up and deciding they just really needed to have somebody in that moment? So a consolation prize. There's a quote that I heard from way back in the day. Chris Thibodeau gave this quote once, and he said, you don't win silver, you lose the gold. And I think about that when I hear that. Like, you don't win silver, you lose the gold. So she's thinking she's the prize in his eyes, and really you're the silver because he couldn't get the gold that he really wanted. But he's still seeking that gold. That still turns him on very much because you are not the gold. Now he's accepting you because you're bringing something else to the table, hopefully. And he's accepting you and he's willing to deal with you. But it also makes me wonder how much he wishes he was somewhere else or with someone else because she wasn't his type. I don't know. I think for him to be so public with it, and I know she's up there giggling and it's cute and funny because she feels like I got my man. But somebody else could have him too. That's the gold that he likes. So I don't know for him to just be so public with it, I think it's almost shaming in a way. It makes it look like she was not good enough or still not his type. I don't know. I feel sad about that. I don't know what to think about that.
I understand what you're saying too, but it could be a message too. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like pretty much color struck. So this is what I like or whatever. So he never gave that other, you know what I'm saying? That person, like, his wife, a chance. But once he gave that person that chance, he noticed like, he probably was like, ooh, look what I've been missing out on. So it's probably like, like I said, I have a couple people that I know. They was like, they used to be into these Mexican girls. It's like, oh, when I get married, I'm a marry me a Mexican girl. Both of these young men has dark-skinned women. And I'm married to dark-skinned women. So it's like you can't like never knock anything until you give it a try. You know what I'm saying? So once he gave it a try, he was like, ooh, he'd probably be like, hey, I should have been here. But I'm just getting here. I had to go through something in order for me to get here.
It's not always
and appreciate why I'm here now. So you probably like let other people know, hey, you better, you know what I'm saying, take the shades off. Pull them shades up so you can see.
And sometimes society set those standards. So I mean, he's probably grew up wherever he grew up. The uncles and the dads and cousins, the men in the family, and sometimes the women. We have a lot of colorism within all of our culture as Black folk here in America, and so I can definitely see, that there was probably something in play and that was ingrained in him for a long time. So that's what he always was attracted to, and he always thought it might have been better. And so I'm happy he opened himself up, but I think I don't know. It's still for me is the public acknowledgement of that. I think maybe it's a better way to say it. I don't know, but they obviously have worked that out within them. She probably has heard this multiple times.
Right.
Still would to me would affect your self-image a little, or self-esteem a little bit.
Well, maybe she she might be like comfortable in the skin she in. Like, oh, okay, that's the way you feeling, but okay, now look where you are now, buddy.
And she's like, you big. I wasn't into big men.
Right.
You know, whatever. So yeah.
And that's like, like things shift, like light skin. Everybody wanted the light skinned man, Then all of a sudden you got these dark skinned men. It was like, baby, light skin out, dark skin in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted a little chocolate.
Well, your taste buds, I always say this to my nephews. And I used to say it to my niece all the time to try to prevent them from settling down so young. Like your taste buds, your actual taste buds on your tongue changes. It changes over the years. It can change throughout the season. What you liked as a kid, you might not like when you're an adult because you have outgrown that flavor, that taste. You acquire something different in life. What you loved, you just won't love later, or vice versa. You hated that, and now I didn't like ketchup as a kid. I hated ketchup. You couldn't get me to eat ketchup for nothing. I love ketchup as an adult because my taste buds have changed, and that's what happens. That's just a natural part of life. Your taste buds change, so you don't know and you outgrow stuff. So his taste buds changed, or he was opened himself up to tasting something new and liked how it tastes.
Enjoyed the taste.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree with both of you ladies. There is a way that you can communicate things to people that make them feel empowered and feel special. That statement that he did, I'll give that a love bomb. Okay?
I did not like it.
All right, I'll give him a love bomb for that. But hey, they're happy. I don't know them personally, but
it looks
they seem happy, and I hope that their relationship continue throughout until they're old and gray and sitting in a chair looking like Diddy. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking now. Well, we'll move on to the next. The next question of the evening is, do you believe that people can be drawn to broken people in dating?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Well, let's check it out and take a listen, guys. Here we go.
Every girl's worst nightmare pretty much happened to me in my last relationship. He left me for a girl he was friends with our entire relationship. And I did one of the hardest things in the world to do after that. And I asked myself, why do I keep getting my heart broken? I'm not saying I deserved that or that any girl does, but what I realized that I thought might be helpful to share is that I am drawn to broken people. And I think a lot of us are. I have this natural thing in my heart where I want to take care of people and make them whole. And I think when we do that, we attract very shitty people. People that take advantage of the kindness that we give them. People that know they can cheat the whole relationship. They can use us for our money, whatever the case is. But do you want to know what I tell myself now? I deserve a whole, healed, and genuine heart. And I will find that if I keep being that. But you have to be smart and you have to look for it because broken hearts suck.
Wow.
She has some good points there.
Thank you for your transparency. Ladies, thoughts?
Yeah, people trauma bond all the time. It's sad because that's a real thing. Where you go, there you are. You do tend to pull in or attract what what's within you, and they you seek that out. And then there's some people who just want to be misfixed. That helps them validate their life and helps them with their own self-esteem, and it feeds them to be with somebody that's broken, because they always want to feel needed. It's a real thing.
Right? And then they get cheated on and pooped on too. Trying to fix it. Be Mrs. and Mr. Fix It.
And we all have broken areas in our lives. We all have something. But you know, I think it's a problem when people just trauma bond like that. And there's people who are manipulative too. That's what they're looking for. So they're very manipulative. That's what they want. Is a broken woman with a bunch of kids, or for those kids. People are deceptive, and they're into it for a reason.
Like they say, you keep doing the same thing, you get the same results, right? So if you keep, going to that same place that you found that last piece of boo-boo, and you go back to that same place, and now you done picked up a new piece of boo-boo. You know what I'm saying?
You the boo-boo.
Right. You need to change. I mean, you don't need to go back to that place. You need to go to a different place.
That's right.
And then you wonder why always happened to me? Why always? What you crying for now? You keep doing the same thing, so evidently you haven't learned. Just keep on running into that wall until you found it, until just knock your ass out. Just keep on going into it. Just keep on running into that same wall.
No, that's why people have to step back, heal yourself first.
Evaluate yourself.
Heal yourself, evaluate yourself, figure out why it is that you keep attracting those type of people. If that's not what you want, figure out, stop long enough. We go from dating relationship to relationship to relationship with no pause in between, no time to self-reflect, no time to heal from traumas from that relationship, and you jumping into another one just to get over that person. And then it's the same relationship, if not worse, because you were just trying to jump out of this one, so you wasn't paying attention at the time. But people really need to stop and just be with yourself for a little bit. And that's what we're scared to do, is be alone, to face ourselves. I always say I am my own best company. If I can't enjoy myself, have fun out by myself, I take myself to the movies. I take myself out to dinner. I can be in a restaurant by myself and don't feel lonely at all. Because everybody gonna talk to you, especially if you're by yourself anyway. But I take trips by myself because I enjoy me. I enjoy my own time getting to know me, work on me, and just have my own time. And I think if more people do that, then they'll be ready for the right person. They can be in the right relationship. They don't have to feel clingy in that relationship, because that's what happens. People don't know how to be alone. They are super clingy. They can't do anything or be anyone outside of that other person. People just take some time, breathe, learn yourself. And then they'll give you opportunity to know what you do and don't want in a relationship.
Yes. That is so true.
That is definitely key.
That is so true. I know my daughter have been on solo trips. My niece has been on solo trips, And at first I was kind of nervous to be like, wait, you're going by yourself, but I think something happens, positive, if you allow that to happen during those trips, that you find out things about yourself, so yeah,
it's definitely
the
great.
One thing.
I was gonna say,
go ahead.
That's good. I mean, like, once you get to know yourself, like when I moved here to Minnesota, so the guy that I was dating or whatever, okay, we didn't broke up or whatever, so it's like it was within a year after I moved here, and I'm like, oh, I didn't sign up for this. So I'm like, okay, we decided we go our separate ways or whatever. And now I'm here in this state, and I know no one, but the people that he had introduced me to. So that's all I know. I'm like, I don't really want to socialize with him, because I don't want to have nothing to do, really be in his existence. I don't want to see him. So I'm like, so at that point is when I really got to know who I am.
Wow.
Because like you said, I'll go to the movies. So, like I said, that helped me to feel like, okay, I'm not settling anymore. If it's not what I want, then I'm not going to settle. Because like I said, I was like, okay, I keep doing this and I keep doing this, it's like I changed up. I done switched up on this. I done switched up on this. I done changed this. So I was like, I keep still getting the same results. So I was like, now I'm just going to go for what I want. I know who I am, what I can tolerate, and what I cannot. So I will not settle for less than what I feel like I deserve. So after that, I was good. And it was like guys who used to say, you so cold, you so cold. Okay, that's the way you feel. I'm cold. No, I know what I want, and I'm not gonna settle. So I guess since I'm cold, I guess you're not the one. You're not hot. So let's just move on to the next one, because I had got to that point. I'm like, I'm not for no bullshit. It's either you gonna come with it all or come with nothing at all. Like I said, I know you can't have everything you want,
right?
But I'm not gonna settle for 50% anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I done that. I'm not finna settle for 70% anymore. I did that and I done that. I done settled for I'm not doing that. So if you're not close to that, between that 90 and 100, we ain't gonna even worry about it. We go both just move our feet. That's right. We can hang out a little bit, but that's far as it's going. At the end of the day, you going home to your house, and I'm going home to my house. Deuces.
And how many years later?
How many years later?
Girl, you're married.
I know. I was saying, that's what you was asking. So how many years later?
Yeah.
That probably...
That's a long time.
That was probably like after I left. That was probably about
11, 12 or
2
so?
or 3. Yeah, married 11. But I think it was like probably a couple 2 years or so afterwards. So I was like, hey, he brought me here to meet my husband. Thank you. Yeah. Like some good game.
The last guy brought you here
to meet my husband.
Meet the right guy.
Appreciate it.
Wow, that was really good. That was really good. For sure, I just want to say to the young lady, I am very, I applaud you. I'm very happy that you realized, because she was young and dating, and she realized at that point of her life that she was drawn to hurting people. And so that is, because I know people that are older, so old that they need to be in a nursing home, and they're still doing the same thing, so I applaud her to realize it and make some changes. And I hope that you will, that we will hear some love stories about you on TikTok that you share with us, and we'll post them. So we just wanted to say hats off to you, young lady.
That's
keep going for what you know.
Mr. Right is there.
Mr. Right is there.
He's there.
Well, ladies, it's game time. Yeah.
All right.
As always,
I'm a sugar them or I'm a bummer. Which one?
Oh. And you know what? That last guy was a love bomb buzz, because he was using her, and then he went on to move to somebody else. So yeah, you was a love bomb buster. I just want to let you know that. Are y'all ready to play?
Ready.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So
I'm gonna drink to that.
So I have a line of questions, and you guys just let me know, counsel, if it's a sugar crush or a love bomb buzz. Y'all ready?
What is a sugar crush? You didn't tell them what is a sugar crush. What should we have some new listeners? They don't know what a sugar crush is.
Oh, so a sugar crush, you're right. I'm sorry.
Can't leave the people
hanging. A sugar crush is somebody who you are crushing on, somebody that you're in relationship with, and you still have that love feeling for them. Now, I know that in relationships, we have the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, but a sugar crush gonna hang in there, through the thick and the thin. So I would consider that a sugar crush, right? But a love bomb buzz, that's somebody who is a manipulative P Diddy. And that's all I gotta say about that. And this is not about Diddy, but I just wanted to put that out there.
That's about the third or fourth thing.
I know. I know.
But this is not about
I
Diddy.
know. But it's just, oh my
She didn't
goodness.
get
Such a
invited to the
hateful
free
guy.
goss.
Such a hateful guy. All right, so you can tell me this as well, council viewers. Is this a sugar crush or a love bomb bust? Somebody that acts hurt or offended when you ask for space. Just give me a little space. All I need is a little space.
I don't know.
You
I
know,
don't think it
because
really
they
fits in
probably
between either
somebody
one of
said
these.
that to them. Give me some space, so they don't know how to take it. They like,
You crushing
wait a
too
minute,
hard.
You crushing.
You
No,
crushing
I'm
too
joking.
hard. I need you to back up. That's what they're saying. That doesn't mean it's a love bum bust. It just means that they're like, okay, let's step back a little bit. You're coming on too strong. And sometimes we have that. That doesn't mean I don't like you. It might be that I take stuff in small doses. Just let me feel this. Some people move fast, some people are slow.
Sugar
I don't know.
crush
I know
or
she's
bust?
Like, which one is it? I think I can't say it's either one, honestly.
Yeah, there's no middle.
But according to who the person is, it's going to be a love bum bust for them because they won't be able to handle it because somebody don't told them to back up a little bit.
Right.
So you're going to see it as a love bum bust.
Exactly.
Okay.
And even though it might not be, it might be this that person is really needing some space because they're going through something, or it's a little bit much for them in that moment. They like you a lot. They just want you to slow down. But you about to bust it up because you want to act up because
Okay, next one. Look, they're going on and on about it.
asking me questions.
Why you asking all these questions? Why you asking all these questions?
Back up.
We gonna have Charlize do a seminar on that one because look, she was on that. Woo. All right, next. Okay. If somebody becomes critical or demanding after you tell them, look, I need a little space. All right.
We're in agreement.
The council has spoken. It's a love bomb
agreement.
buzz. Because if you tell someone you need a little space and then they just start criticizing you and
That means you just can't take constructive criticism. Look, I'm just trying to tell you something so we can keep, being a couple or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So our relationship will be healthy. So I'm telling you what I need. But if you got to do all of that just because I told you what I need and you offended, baby, bye.
counselor.
It's a bust. It's
Oh,
a bust for me.
It's a
you
bust.
extra with it. Like,
Too much.
yeah, you start talking smack and yeah, no, it's a bust. It's
Then he gonna be well, daddy. He gonna be like, well, daddy, can I go outside? Daddy, can I go to the store? Cause daddy gonna want to know where you going and how you going. He'll go from boyfriend to daddy.
All right. They ask about your past relationships all the time. Like, who was that you said you dated? And how long did you date him?
yeah, they've been.
That's like stalker stuff. Let me see if I can go and find Bobby and ask Bobby what you used to do to him. Let me go and tell Bobby, don't you do that to Bobby.
Yeah, either they're wanting to see if you're still together. There's some trust issues. They might not be trusting. Or, again, insecure. So they're trying to see how they measure up to this other person.
But is that a bust? So if and women do this often. They want to know who the person dated. They go on Facebook. They, just because women are pretty nosy.
Nosy.
I guess I'm not that nosy.
Well, me
because
neither.
I'm not going through
But
all of
you
that.
know what? I will do it for a friend of mine. or a family member, I would love to do research on their,
That's too
their
young.
person.
I guess I can say I'm not that nosy. Whatever you feel like you want to tell me, then you tell me what you want. I'm not gonna keep asking you. Well, what did you say about Sharon? Oh, well, can you tell me a little bit more about Tanya? I don't give a damn about Tanya and Sharon. They in the past. So whatever you told me, that's good enough. Let's move on. You know what I'm saying? Now it's about me and you. Yeah, that's old. That's right. The new sheriff in town. Forget about the old sheriff.
That sheriff is
That
rough.
retired. Those sheriffs retired. Let's come on now.
I think sometimes people do it to just see who they're up against, like who. And again, it becomes that thing of measuring yourself against the past person. I think sometimes it's just interesting to see who he may have been before you. Because you are able to see, like, say for instance, the one I was just saying, he was never my type at all. So I was interested, and I don't think I was a woman he had probably typically dated either. And so I was really interested in seeing, because I check sometimes. Yep. But it wasn't out of insecurity. It really was, I was interested in seeing what made him who he was today. What type of women did he have in his life? Because when we talked about people or things, and I knew he had some different traumas in his life, some different things. This man had several kids and things like that. So I just wanted to know a little bit more about him in that way. Like, so it would give me a clearer picture about who he was or where he came from.
Okay.
So I think sometimes when you can see who they dated in the past, it gives you a bigger picture, and you're like, ooh, that person was really rough, or like, oh, this person is A, B, and C, okay, that's cool. So it kind of gives you a glimpse of who he has been and maybe who he's aspiring or what he wanted in you and what the difference is. But also it can bring out your insecurities or anything like that. If that's what you are just gung-ho, you just got to see the woman and you stalking the woman, the other woman or whatever. So I think it's really about the reason why everyone's different. What is your motivation behind researching or looking for somebody else or wanting to know about an ex at all? So
agreed. Yeah. Women are very nosy,
I am.
They just want to know. Some people might get offended by me calling you nosy, but I'm just speaking facts.
Right.
All right. So, what if they just look into your eyes and they're just staring at you? And every time you're in the room, their eyes just follow everywhere you go. Every time you just, just like that movie. I think it was Whitney Houston was in it. Angela Bassett was in it. Waiting to Exhale, like the lady that was walking from inviting the next door neighbor for some dinner, and she just started walking, and she looked back like, oh, he's watching. Just eyes just there, piercing.
It was salivating.
Is that a crush? Or okay.
See, the crush in her becomes a stalker.
One of the chicks.
Right.
But it could be that he's so fascinated, so in love with you that he's like, I just love everything about her. Oh, yeah. Look at the way she's oh, look at her. That's my I love the way she walks. Ooh, look at that ass.
She's been there before. All right, last question. They find little excuses to touch you. Like, oh, do you want anything?
Nothing wrong with
oh,
it.
are you okay?
Oh, that could be a sugar crush. That shit is no sugar crush.
Wait a minute. That's annoying to Tammy, but
oh, honey, touch
Charlisa
me.
loves it.
I am a touch-filled person. That's why I don't do online dating. I can't. It's like I see it. I can't do that. I am very personable, and there is power in touch. There's something about connecting to a person via touch. It's so important. I love touch. So
I mean, like if you come, you like, oh hey, you know, or whatever, good. But if you keep going every time you just touched me a second ago. Don't keep going touching. That's when it gets annoying. When you just keep doing, okay, you touch a time or two. That's just like a man. They want to touch on your buns, right? And you're like, yeah. You be like, oh, okay. And you're like, oh yeah, I like that. Then it gets annoying. But you just come and get a look. You be like, oh, okay. That was like, oh, wait.
it's about the type of touch, probably. It's probably the type of touch.
You get to doing it too much.
But that's how somebody feels. That's a level of intimacy for some people. It really is. It's just a high level of intimacy for some people. And I don't have a problem with that. I like to be touched, and I like to touch. And I guess it's also the type of touching that's happening. So
because
somebody just keeps groping you in a way that you're just like, come on. Again, it's that backup thing. And I think it's according to what you feel for that person too. Because if you're not feeling the person, you don't want them touching you like that.
Well, I think too, in seasons of relationship, you know, it depends on where you are in your relationship. And you may not feel lovey-dovey all the time and want to be touched all the time. But, you know, it's sacrifice. I know somebody who loved their feet rubbed all the time. And their husband give feet rubs, but not every day. Because this person wanted in the morning, probably at night, and in between at lunchtime, they would love a good little feet rub. They love their feet rub so much, they asked just, would you rub my feet? You know, one time I was around them and their mother was with, you know, around.
This person's name started with a K.
Well, we're not going to say who it was. But they asked their mother for a feet rub. I'm like, oh my goodness. The mother, they asked the mama for a feet rub. I'm like, this person.
They got a foot rub fetish.
A foot rub. I'm like, oh my goodness.
That person need to get them one of them foot, those feet
Massagers.
Yeah, put their feet in. So that way you can just go up there to that thing like, massage my feet, would you? Yeah. That could be mom, whoever else you want it to be. Whoever they want that person to be, it can be.
Look, if you let Shango come over, he'll lick your feet.
Oh, you get 2 for 1. You get a rub and a lick. Oh my goodness. Well, the council has spoken. I hope you guys have enjoyed us. If you guys are crushing, we're crushing as well. Take a listen.
Calling all lovers in disguise. Do you have a secret crush? Have you been holding on to that juicy little secret that you're dying to spill? Whether it's your best friend, coworker, or someone totally unexpected, if you're bold enough to dare to be different, we want your story. Come reveal your crush on the Gossup podcast. Let the world hear your heart, and who knows, maybe love will find you on air. Slide into our DMs or email us at info@thegossup.com.
Well, I want to say that this is our 4th episode, and you guys have heard the crushing, I would call that a commercial, or the ask that we want somebody to come on and give their story about how they want to talk to this person. It could be somebody that you hang around, that you want to share, that you really want to go out on a date with them. It could be somebody that you want to get back in contact with that you haven't seen in years. It could even be a story that Charlisa told us earlier. Yep, I'm telling on you that, you know, somebody got back in contact with her from years ago.
Something vivacious, voluptuous.
Oh my!
Oh
Well,
my
we want him to
God.
come onto this
No,
stage.
we don't.
We want to get a love connection. So
The love.
come on, yep. DM us. I got you, my brother. I got you.
Oh,
Well,
Lord.
ladies, this was a very good long segment. We had to do it. It is
right.
always good to be with my sisters.
It's always great.
It is always. And once again, I would like to say, stay up with
The Gossup.
And that's it for today's episode of The Gossup. If today's conversations got you thinking, drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn those notifications on so that you won't miss an episode. Until next time, stay up with The Gossup.